do believe webcam is on, so welcome to all you webcammers, or in the future when you pull an archived item down to have a look at it and peruse it. Hi and welcome to the public here. Welcome today to the first monthly full council meeting. I don't know where time goes, but here we are almost at the end of January 2011, 1/12 of the year gone already. I guess that happens, the older you get, the faster the time passes. However, welcome to all the councils. Firstly, I'll ask for apologies, but that's a little bit superfluous because there will be none because all the seats are full. So I'll move straight away to agenda item number 1. And councillors, if you could be mindful just to try and speak a little bit louder. People obviously interested, and the mics are not working. They're working now. Oh, cool. Okay. Thank you. So we're moving to agenda item number 1 in your agenda, which is minutes of the Taupo District Council held here on the 10th of December. Firstly, I'll ask for any amendments before I call for a mover, and they will take you through to page 1/10. Pink colours, so are there any amendments to the minutes before I call for a mover in a second, please? There being no amendments, I will call for a mover in a second, please. Move Councillor Hickling, seconded Councillor Johnson. All in favour? So carried. Any matters arising or discussion therein? Preferably if we could just start page by page, one by one. 1/2. 1/3. Small one there for me. Hydro slide at the AC bars. The contract's been let, has it? And a small update, please.
As far as I know, the contract's been let, but I'm not sure if the work's even started yet.
Okay, well maybe I better listen to my own lectures in future. I did say last year that people who were concerned should call into the baths and have a look from time to time themselves to make sure that we are governing as we are elected to do, and I will make sure I go there tomorrow to have a look.
I can report the hydro slides were operating the other day when I went down to have a look, very successfully, and also the temporary slide down the bank seemed to be a major draw card for lots of kids because there was a huge queue for that temporary slide.
And I do know, for what it's worth, that Councillor Downard and myself were with the management of the Cronulla Sharks yesterday, including the chairman, Damien Irvine, and they looked at all our facilities yesterday for the up-and-coming game, and they were very complimentary of the gym, the AC bars and the event centre, so they had a lot of kudos to that, so well done. 1/4. 1/5. 1/6. 1/7. There's an issue on there, but I think we could refer that to item number 15.
Yep, that's coming up ready.
You're agreed? Thank you. 1/8. 1/9. Fine, thank you. All in favour? Carried. Thank you. Item 2 is minutes of the Turangi-Tongariro Community Board on the 14th of December. Can I have a mover and a seconder just to receipt these, please, because they haven't been confirmed. Can't I move? Councillor Kipper. I'll second it. Any discussion before I put the matter to the vote? Pages 2/1 through to 2/8. White copies. Okay, there being none, all in favour? Any matters arising, discussion? Okay, being none, moving to agenda item number 3, Taupo Airport Authority Committee meeting, 15th of December 2010. Again, these are unconfirmed, so we can only move to receipt them. Is there any... I have a mover and a seconder. Move Councillor Johnson, I'll second myself, being I was there. Any discussion on the airport committee meetings before I put it to the vote, please? Take you through to page 3/8. There being none, all in favour? Carried. Again, Minutes, Emergency Management Committee, 13th of December. Again, these are unconfirmed, so I need a mover and seconder, please. Move, Councillor Downard. Seconded. Councillor Kipper. Any discussions on these minutes before I put them to the vote, please? Going through quite lengthy minutes through to page 4/13. Okay, there being none, I'd just like to add that it's very important, if people mightn't think so, but Emergency Management Committee is a very important functioning body. Again, as recent as last Sunday night, they were used quite extensively here in Taupo. We had a police force that only had 3 police officers on. We had to call on the likes of Councillor Downard over here for roads that were flooded, closing roads, helping people. In fact, I would go so far as to say that an incident I heard about at approximately midnight on Sunday night, I think Councillor Downard, I'm pretty sure, actually almost saved a life. Well, I think he did save a life out on the Napier Highway, so yeah, well done. Okay, all in favour? Carried. Right, item number 5 is the Rugby World Cup 2011 Host Coordination Committee, and we're only 9 months out from this fantastic event that's going to showcase this district, I'm sure, around the world in a good light. So can I please have a mover and a seconder? Move, Councillor Craig. Seconded. Councillor Downard, sorry, Councillor Downard. Any discussion before I put the motion to the vote? And that they will take you through to 5/8. Deputy Chief Executive Officer, Mr. McLeod.
Could I just draw your attention?
We can only receive these,
There is a recommendation on page 5/8. You may wish to read that recommendation to council. You may wish to leave that line on the table until such time as you go through your annual planning discussion.
I would agree. Any further discussion on that point raised by the Deputy Chief Executive Officer, which is the funding associated with the hosting of these 3 teams later on this year? And as the Deputy Chief Executive has pointed out, this is an annual plan process that this figure and needs to go through the annual plan process.
Yes, you'll get to have those discussions.
That doesn't absolutely imperatively have to, but that's the wish, because you could do it unbudgeted, but that would be unwise and it should go through the annual plan process. That's our opinion.
Sorry,
Councillor Mincher.
Mike would obviously know this. How soon do you want a decision on direction we give you for hosting these games and the highlights packages and all these different things you want to do? Show me games live for the costings.
Yesterday?
Yeah.
Not really. I mean, the annual plan gets ratified at the end of June. A lot of the costs are associated after June, but it does leave us in a hard position on some decisions to be made. But generally, most of the costs are after June. A lot of that is cost associations with the live sites. How far do we go with those? With the intake. I had a meeting with Mark last week, and the prediction now is instead of 70,000 visitors, they're looking at 85,000 now into New Zealand. The finals and semi-finals are sold out. So it depends on the council, and that's the discussion you need to have in the annual plan, how far that you want to go. Hosting Wales Island and South Africa, what we need to do for their supporters, and taking in mind that we are in the hub of the North Island. A lot of those tourists are going through Taupo, so yeah, it's what we want to put on for that. And bear in mind too that this has been 4 years in planning, the proposal probably longer than 4 years to get those 3 teams.
Just here, we don't have the breakdown obviously on the different levels of live showing the street closures, but we're at the final. You've given your wish list at the top, but we don't have the assist. I've seen it myself at the way through.
We've come to that, Councillor Rex, because we are short of time. We had our first meeting get together before Christmas after the elections, and of course we've got new people on that committee. So we feel as though that there was a hot discussion on that, coming to that figure. We feel that it's a balanced figure that you will be shown more in-depth detail come to it. Our second meeting, we're still fighting through whether it needs to be that much or less, but we need to put this into the annual plan to get the ball rolling, because we're running out of time.
Just
Yeah, just for clarification, the intention is to bring this through in terms of the draft annual plan discussions, which will start next month, basically in February. So this, by leaving this on the table to those discussions, not until the end of June. That was the intention, is to deal with it next month.
Sorry, Councillor.
So will that the breakdown of the costs be available when we discuss this at the end of the plan?
It will be. I mean, what's here is just simply the recommendation that's been lifted through from the discussions.
And I see that the 18,000 for the charity dinner is not included in that 211, is that correct?
That's correct, yep.
Charity
They
dinners.
look at that and be self-funded.
So hopefully that will be self-funded.
The Rugby Subcommittee has done a lot of pruning. We've had a lot of costs put before us, a lot of expenses. We've pruned and trimmed, and to refer to that dinner, that will probably be run by private people, not council. And as Councillor Downer said, it has to be self-funding.
Yeah, good.
And in fact, we would like to think it would make some money, and that could go to some sort of charity like junior rugby or something like that. Because the directive we've had from the Irish, Welsh and South Africans are we can use them, public golf tournaments, charity dinners, whatever, only on the proviso that any money made must go to charity. No money can go into any particular person's pocket. It must go to charity. We're faced with a lot of dilemmas at the moment, but we can work through them, and other councils have to do the same, because the Local Government Act 2002 must go before your annual plan process. We've already taken it through our committee and tried to get it. We've tried to just get it to be the best we can without being extravagant, but there's lots of costs like hiring of toilets. There's going to be a lot of people here. You're hiring of toilets, you're talking about street closures for final games and what have you, fan zones at the Great Lakes Centre for families, alcohol free, and lots of things like that. And we really do want to make sure that these teams taken around the district to schools and places like that and used as role models as best we can for the future of rugby. So there's a lot of work. The committee is actually doing a lot of work, and these are only recommendations till we go to the annual plan process, of which we all have to submit and listen to and deliberate on.
These costs also include taking to Turangi and Mangakino as well, with the bigger screen. So it's not just the Taupo District, Taupo town.
But we have also set aside some money for the Rugby World Cup committee as well as this. This is additional cost.
This is the next financial year. This is July 1, 2011, because it's in October. That money that was set aside is this year's annual plan.
Yes, and there's nothing allocated in next year's annual plan.
Not yet.
We're running of the Rugby World Cup.
We haven't done our annual plan.
Okay.
Anything further? Okay. Being nothing further on Rugby World Cup, an exciting time for Taupo going forward. I don't want to harp on about it, but it is the one chance we get of being displayed in 23 countries around the world on TVs and that. So I think it's a great opportunity for Taupo, great employment, great economic growth situation for us. So without being extravagant, I think we should be the best we can and be mindful of that. So all in favour, please? Carried, thank you. Item number 6, Dog Control Annual Report on Policy and Practices. Mr. Green, is he with us there? Mr. Green, would you like to comment on the report?
Very, very briefly, Your Worship, this is a procedural report under the Dog Control Act. We have to provide Council with this report on an annual basis, and hence this is here. Essentially, it's just to keep you updated in terms of the activities of the animal control functions that Council undertakes. So you'll see there that it has all the facts and figures, and so I'll just take the rest of the items read.
Any questions or discussion from fellow councillors? Councillor Mencher?
Mayor, just reading through, obviously, to sit in the seat, the 50-50 split from general rates to the dog owners, has that historically always been that way? I'm a dog owner myself, I never knew that, just wondering where that comes from.
It hasn't always been that way. It's fluctuated, and that's a funding policy decision that council makes at LTCCP time. So it has previously been 40-60 dog owner to general public, etc. It's a discussion that council has, can and should have every LTCCP. The current 50-50 split is based on the fact that there's a lot of the activities that the animal control functions take which aren't related to good dog owners. So it's the unregistered and the visiting dogs that the functions cover. So the reason that the general rate payer pays some of those fees is that good dog owners, obviously there's a percentage there, but then it's the unregistered or other dogs.
We have a lot of funding policies like AC Barbs, I think it's 90-10, things like that. They're what ratepayers do get. Dog is a man's best friend, and if it was too dear, he wouldn't be able to have his friend, so you have to balance the scales somewhere. Any further questions, discussions? I've got one little one. Mr. Green, don't think I'm trying to be a policeman or anything like that, but when we've got 1,493 complaints and 0 prosecutions, does everyone just get let off with a smack on the hand or something?
We strive to get the matters sorted in other ways, so through discussion, and the team try and sort it that way. You'll see that there was 172 odd infringement notices as well, so there's the instant fines, so it's 172 of those. Some of the complaints are found not to be justified, others the complaint by the time our guys get there might be finished, and others we deal with in other ways, e.g. you'll see we get quite a few barking complaints in a year, and so we work with those owners to show them how to make their dogs not bark and disrupt their neighbours.
Okay, so just to clarify things for me, so there actually were 172 infringement notices issued, very similar to a prosecution, I guess. But then I read the next hand, it says number of infringement notices actually paid was 7, so you're telling me 165 of them didn't bother to pay them?
They were in front of the court, so they didn't pay them to us, but then the court either collects them or does as they wish.
So there was 99 of those sent to the court. So the other 55?
The other 55, we would have come to an agreement with the person who got the infringement notice. So say if it was a roaming dog, for instance, we might have said to them, look, if you build a fence, then we will cancel that infringement notice.
Good indication. Any further questions, comments? There being none, all in favour? Oh, did I get a mover to that? You did? We had a mover and a seconder to the item? We haven't. Okay, I ask for a mover, please. Move. Councillor Hickling, seconded Councillor Johnson. All in favour?